Hey everybody, Joel, Moose Droppings by ImportSauce.com. Today we are doing a product unboxing. Specifically, we are looking at Elevate's brand new performance brake kit system for the P1 vehicles. S40, V50, C30, C70. This kit is for the fronts, and this kit includes 4-piston Brembo calipers, as well as massive 350 millimeter slotted and vented rotors. Let's go ahead and open these boxes up and see what this kit includes. So a quick overview on the new Elevate Performance Brake System for the P1s. We are going to do the unboxing. We're going to look at each of the components, but it's going to be more of a top level. Definitely go over to the website. The link is going to be in the description, and you can learn more, read the descriptions, check out all the videos and photos that they have on the website there. But essentially what this is, it is a 4-piston Brembo caliper. This is the caliper that's used on the later model Ford RS 500s that are over there in Europe. It has a 350 millimeter massive rotor, and Elevate has designed some special components to go with it, which is going to include a lot of the mounting hardware, as well as the performance brake pads and their performance brake lines. So with everything combined together, this is going to give you some really massive stopping power on your P1 vehicle, and it is using that Ford RS Blue Brembo caliper, so it's really going to look good as well. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at all of these things. We'll pull them out one by one, see what we have, and then go from there. So the first thing that we're going to look at is that this kit comes in two different boxes. It is a lot of kit. The rotors are massive. The calipers are massive. This thing weighs a lot. So the first thing we're going to do is pull off and take a look at the actual rotors. And while I'm pulling that out, I do want to note that while these are a combination of Elevate specific parts, Ford specific parts, this kit was brought together to make kind of a all-in-one for the P1 system. While you can go out there and say, oh, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can build this kit myself, maybe get the rotors and get my own brake lines. There are special fitment components that Elevate has taken into mind. They have researched and developed to fit perfectly with the P1. So even if you're seeing different elements of this kit out there, Elevate puts it all together, and it's at a price point where you don't even have to mess with it. It comes ready to go out of the box. We're going to pull it, and you can get out into the garage, out into the driveway, and start installing. So while you can piece it together yourself, it's already done here, and the price is pretty much comparable with all the time that you're going to spend doing about it. So Elevate, as always, tons of bubble wrap. Everything is beautifully secured. And I'll tell you what, this is probably one of the heavier rotors that I've dealt with. So we have two in the box there. And as mentioned, these are massive 350 millimeters. The P1 fronts, factory, 300 millimeters, or if you have the all-wheel drive M66, 320. So this thing is massive on there. Vented, slotted, zinc plated. So this guy is built for performance. And also with the increased size, you're going to have that extra stopping power, and it's going to make perfectly to that 4-piston Brembo that we're going to see coming up soon. So two of these are included, ready to go. Okay, on to the second box here. So first thing we notice in here, as with every other Elevate product we've ever ordered, well, minus Swedish fish. I haven't seen that before that I recall, but I haven't ordered in a while. Full color instructions for the installation there. So as always, Elevate, full color, step by step, taking you through everything you need to do. Elevate decals, and I do like the fish because if you're out there taking a break, you have a little snack to munch on while you're working. Okay, next thing in the box, right in the middle here. Feels like there's a couple things in here. Let's see. Okay, this looks like it's going to be our hardware, mounting bolts, spacers, hub-centric rings, installation drill bit, brake pads, and caliper retainer springs and pin bolts. I think what we'll do is we'll talk about these when we talk about the calipers, so we'll set those aside. First thing we have, massive brake pads. But as we saw with the rotor, that thing's huge. And as we're going to see with the caliper, it is huge, so makes sense. Elevate specs says that these are perfect for daily driving, spirited performance-based street driving. I would put myself in that category. Light track use. So these are Elevate specific that they had made to accompany this kit to work perfectly with this kit so that you can get the most out of it. Again, it's right in there. Next thing you see is let's talk about the mounting bolts. So these are the two bolts, one for each side, that are going to mount the caliper onto the wheel hub assembly. The factory P1 for the Volvo application is a 12 millimeter. The Ford Focus RS application is going to use a 14 millimeter, so it's just a little bit bigger, but it needs that extra bolt size to hold that massive caliper onto the wheel hub assembly. So with that, Elevate sends a drill bit. You are going to have to just open that hole up just a little to take these bolts and to make sure that you get the proper mounting of that caliper onto the wheel assembly. So it is itemized in the instructions, no big deal, but brand new Ford spec bolts so that they mount up perfectly with the new calipers there. So easy enough. Next, we have our spacers. So these are precision machined spacers, and this is to do with the geometry of the actual Brembo caliper that has to go onto the wheel hub assembly. So it is geometrically different than the factory Volvo P1 caliper, obviously. It's a Brembo 4-piston. The thing with that is it changes the geometry of where the rotor is going to land. So what Elevate has done is created custom spacers that are going to go against the wheel hub assembly in between the rotor, and it's going to put that rotor at the perfect position where it should fall into play with the caliper. So again, this is just one of those things that Elevate has apparently done the research, designed a beautiful product, whereas if you're trying to piece together this product out on your own, are you going to get the right spacer? Is it going to be as quality as this? Is it just going to pop on? Is it going to be exactly perfect to get the geometry perfect? It's a lot of what ifs, and right here in the Elevate kit, you don't have to even worry about it. Lastly in there with our hardware is our hub-centric mounting rings. So when that caliper is mounted and the geometry is changed, the spacer goes on to move that rotor out just a smidge, you're going to lose the lip of your center hub ring where you would mount your wheel onto. So what Elevate has done has developed and created this precision part that's going to go into that after you mount your rotor on there before you put your wheel, and give you that same wheel alignment so that when you put your wheel on, you have that hub-centric dialed in, and you're not going to have any wobbling, or you're not going to have any of that those symptoms that if some of you have mounted maybe Pegasus wheels on a P1 where the hub doesn't match up, and you might get it close, but you might notice at 60 miles per hour, oh, this wheel isn't balanced. So again, with piecing it together yourself, you're going to have to take that into account, where Elevate has already done the research. They designed it and they produced this beautiful kit where out of the box, you're ready to get out and start installing. So beautiful. The next thing that we find in the kit is the brake lines. So again, the brake lines between the factory P1 are not going to be suitable to mount right up to the Brembo 4-piston on there. Elevate has went ahead and developed that special brake line for you. So sealed, stainless steel, and it retains all of the factory mounting points on there. So when you put it in, you're going to be able to just install it. It connects between the Brembo 4-piston, the factory hard lines on there. It comes with new banjo bolts, all the washers, everything that you need there. These are made in the United States and they are DOT approved. So beautiful. Again, Elevate kind of putting the whole thing together, everything that you need out of the box. So we have those. I guess it's time for the big one. Let's go ahead and pull this caliper out and see what we got. Okay, so last thing in the box is, last thing in the box. 2 massive Brembo 4-piston calipers. Oh, let's pull this guy out. Look at that, powder coated. This is, again, as Elevate mentions, from the later model GT or Ford Focus RS 500s. So we do see that this does have a Ford factory part number on it, but combined with everything in here, it is now a Volvo kit. So this thing is massive, it's beautiful, it's powder coated. Brand new from the factory. This isn't something that's you're going to get used or you're going to make yourself. Just beautiful on here. Everything's sealed. It has your connections are ready to go. So within the kit, we have obviously 2 of those, a right and a left. Everything here completes that kit, ready to install on there. Some important notes that we want to point out or remind you of. Again, there is some modification that is needed. We need to open up the mounting holes that are going to hold this guy to your wheel hub assembly, which is going to require a little bit of drilling. One thing to note is because this kit is so much bigger than the factory Volvo P1, is the dust guard that goes behind this is going to be just slightly in the way. And we've seen that on other write-ups when other people have done kind of custom kits or piece some things together where they have to take the dust shield and maybe bend it back or kind of flare the top out, remove it all together. So that's one thing that you're going to want to remember if you're purchasing this kit, is that you're going to have to think ahead and say, don't forget to just, slap this thing on, and it's going to be rubbing against your dust shield. So in our situation, we have already had some extra dust shields. I think we're going to do a sandblast powder coat and then kind of shape those and get them into the shape that we need. We will probably do a little bit on that when we actually get to installation video on this. So again, drilling out the wheel hub holes, adjusting with the dust brake shield. One important thing to note as well is this kit is huge. Just look at the sheer size of it. Wheel clearance is going to be an issue. On the website, there is a diagram. I'm going to overlay it here. And as you can see, there are specific measurements, 2 that you need to pay attention to, which is going to be the top of the caliper to the inner diameter of the rim, as well as the outside of the caliper to the rim as well. So if you're thinking that you're going to purchase these and run these behind your factory 16s or 17s, I'm willing to bet that in most of those situations, this isn't going to fit whatsoever. If you're running 18s or above, a lot of you are doing the pegs or something similar, you need to first, before you do anything, is take this chart. You need to get out there with a ruler and you need to make sure that this kit is even going to fit. So I understand this is, while it's everything you need, everything comes in the box, you're ready to go, it's not for everyone, and based on the wheel size is going to be the biggest thing. You need to check that first, because if you get the kit out and you get going, hey, and everything looks great, you take some pictures, then you go to put your wheel on and it doesn't fit, and now you've jammed up and completely trashed the surface of this Brembo kit. Come on guys, you can't return that. You're stuck with the kit and you're going to stick it in a box and you're going to have to go find some rims for it. So that's everything in there. hop over the link below. You can read more about this kit, see some of the pictures, probably learn about a lot of the stuff that I may have glossed over or not really explained in the detail. But the next thing we're going to do is wait for the weather outside to get a little better and get out there and start doing this. I don't anticipate that the install's going to be too bad on here. Essentially, it's no more than what you would normally do with a brake job, other than attention to the dust shield, doing a quick bore out on the wheel hub assembly holes and putting it all back together on there, and then just doing your standard brake bedding on there. So hop over to the website, check it out. This kit, I think, for the value, is a no-brainer. Everything comes with it. You're ready to go. And I think these things, not only do they look awesome, I'm excited to see how they perform over the factory. I think I have, 300s on there. So thanks for watching, and that's it.